Hey guys, welcome to Saints TV, round 23 review, final round of the season. Season 2019 is complete. We played Sydney at the SCG earlier today. Going there with a bit of optimism, to be honest. I think I tipped us in the tipping competition. I said we'd win by 10 points. Unfortunately, Sydney win by 45 points, so really way off and not at all what I was thinking the result would be. Sydney had a lot to play for in the end when you look at it. You know, they had Franklin's 300th, they had Jared McVeigh retiring, they had Kieran Jack retiring, so they're that sort of team, you know, similar to a Geelong or Hawthorn, that milestones really seem to count for them. And they really stepped it up. But it wasn't for the lack of us trying. It wasn't for the lack of us, you know, trying to do something with the footy. But it was just the sheer lack of skill, execution, and finishing in the end that really killed us. I think at one point, I don't know if it ended up being the case, but we had more scoring shots than them by a significant amount. But they seemed to be pretty clear on the scoreboard. And that's something that I'm pretty sick of. In the last couple of years, is that we just constantly dominate teams, constantly get inside 50s, get contests, get the ground ball, and we just miss the shot. You know, we don't take our chances, or the shots drop short, easy rebounds. There's a number of different things that, you know, cause us to be in the position that we're in, and the main one for me is the lack of composure and class around the ball. There's not many players that, you know, no matter what the situation, they're calm. I thought that, you know, again, players like Ben Long and Hunter Clark showed that, and Ben Long played off half back, and I thought he was really, really good there. He showed a lot of pace. He read the ball well. He didn't have to lead up as much like he has recently as a forward, so he could read the ball coming into the back 50, and you could see that goal that he kicked. Again, I've mentioned it week after week that, you know, he doesn't do a lot per game. He doesn't get a lot of stats, but when he does something, and he does something like that, or last week, or, you know, in Geelong in that snap, Adelaide kicking that goal, he does some special things. And that was a great piece of play where he intercepted the ball, handballed it off, kept running, got the hands, got to 50 and was confident that he could snap it, and he did. So there's a lot there to like for Ben Long, but for me, it's the finishing. I can't get my head around the amount of easy goals we could have had, and we made them impossible. And the commentators were onto it. I think there was one where Loney had an easy kick to Hanbury, 15 metres away from him, and he kicks to Hanbury's feet. He has to bend over and try and get it. By that point, defenders are all around him, ready for the tackle. He falls to ground. Sydney rebound, kick a goal. There's another one where I think it was in the last quarter or the third quarter, where we had an easy shot, missed it, goes down the other end, Sydney get it, kick a goal, you know, and it's those sort of things that really are confidence killers. You know, when you dominate a game for so long, you think you're on top, you think you're going to get the reward, and then you don't. And that's typical of our season, is that we work hard and then you don't get the reward. The other team gets the rebound and they kick goals, and then confidence drops. You drop as a team, as a unit, and then the other team gets on top. They can sniff that out. And teams like Sydney, especially when they've got the amount of things they're playing for today in terms of milestones, retirees, all that, young players trying to make a stand for themselves, it was always going to be a hard thing for us to combat. And it's even harder when, you know, if Jake Carla plays the way he plays, the amount of times that he gets the ball and he doesn't even kick it properly. He's off one step, you know, and it doesn't reach the target quick enough. It doesn't reach the target on the full, and it just makes mistakes. And I feel sorry for Ratton, because he started so well as the interim coach, and, you know, we won 3 games out of 6, but the 3 losses have been they've been avoidable. They've been really avoidable. And today, I don't think any coach could have gotten much more out of the team that we fielded, simply because the team that we fielded was a team that just didn't have the composure, a team that didn't take the game on, was really happy to just see the season peter out. And that's what I was worried about, was, you know, mentally I feel like a lot of the players were on holiday already, already thinking about trades or where they're going to go. But now Ratton's in that position where he's got to pitch for his job, and he's 3 wins, 3 losses. Do we look better off with him? In terms of attacking, I think we do. In terms of defending, I don't think we do. So that leaves a lot to be desired from a coaching standpoint. But 6 games isn't enough to judge someone, but that's what we have, and that's what we have to make the call. So I'm interested to see what happens in the off-season, especially with Ross Lyon being in the mix, and he's more of a defensive coach. Is that what we need? I don't think so. I'd like to take the game on more and kick bigger scores in terms of, instead of just protecting leads and being too defensive, because I think that's what our issue was with Richo, and the reason why we won games like we did against Fremantle, against the Dogs, against Melbourne, was because we took the game on. And I think that's the style that wins your games. Brisbane are doing it, the Bulldogs are doing it, West Coast do it, Collingwood do it, GWS do it. They're an attacking focused team with a defensive setup when they lose the ball. We don't really have that at the moment. In terms of performances today, thought Membry did well, led up well, didn't get the reward enough. Bruce battled hard, but again, delivery to him was pretty awful. Nunes, trade bait. It's got to be trade bait. Really poor performance from him. I thought Ross stood up. Honestly, I thought Ross really played well. He kicked 2 goals at over 25 possessions. I thought Hanbury, best game for us. Most consistent game from him. Hunter Clark was good. Battle was good. Marshall, I don't know what his stats were in the end, but I thought he did really well and got a lot of the ball around the ground. Loney, very quiet. I could go through a lot of quiet players. Sinclair at times was good. At times wasn't very good. But overall, as a collective, we just didn't have that composure, that calmness that a lot of good teams need. And that's something that needs to be drilled into them. And another thing is set shots. The amount of misses that we have, hitting the post, especially when we're on top, and we're our own worst enemy in that sense that, we let Sydney get the jump on us, we fought back, then they get the jump on us again, we fight back a little bit again, and then by the end of it, we're stuffed. We've tried all day to get back into the lead. We don't get the reward. Sydney get late goals, and they win by 40. And that's, I could ask you, but how many times have we seen something like that happen? It's crazy how often that happens. Before I go through finish this off, we'll go through some of the comments. Let's see what we've got. Radley said that one hurt, but Sydney outright played better in almost every way. Exactly. We let them do that too. I'm not going to give them full credit. Any team that has almost more scoring shots than you miss, the other team's going to win. Shocking game to watch, says Michael. Cameron says embarrassing performance. We need to go back and practice our basic skills. Need a big preseason. Bring on 2020. Ben says need some decent ball users. No reward for effort at the moment. Sharon says they laid down and died. Shameful, no pride or respect. And that's the one thing I was disappointed with it. Even if you can't make finals, you're playing for a coach that hasn't got the job yet. At least show something for Rats. And they didn't look like they showed enough for him in my eyes. Cooper said Ben Long 6 touches again. Another shocking performance. Lots of passengers. Carlisle shit too. Dunstan ball butchering yet again. Ross, Hannes, Steele and Brucey did good. Rest were trash. Rowe did all right for his age. No one can use the effing ball. Some summarise that perfectly. Cameron says, thank you for your coverage this year. Really enjoyed an unedited opinion of the club. Great work, mate. Thank you, Cameron. And to that point, I just want to quickly point out that as the game finished, I'm on a little bit of a mini break at the moment. I've just gone, a couple of hours out of the city just to get away from all that. And I just was watching the game now, and it's kind of out in the country, and they've got I saw an axe with a log of wood, and I just thought, considering the season's done, considering I don't have to use my membership ever again, so it's literally useless, I'm going to throw it in the bin anyway. I thought, why not have a bit of fun, make it a bit more dramatic? And, we all have that anger in us that, when a mistake happens and it's an easy goal that we've coughed up, you just want to go and punch a hole in the wall or something. And I wanted to use that axe, and I nailed it the first time. I thought, I'm going to post this. This summarizes exactly how I feel for the season. Not, in any way am I saying that I'm not going to be a member next year. I've been a member for the last 15 years in a row, and I'm going to be a member until I die. That's just how it is. But I just thought that'd be a funny piece of content for the page, and some people agreed and liked it. Some people said that, I thought you were a true fan, and obviously I'm a true fan. I run Saints TV. It takes up hours of my week, and I go to every game, and I watch it when I'm on holiday. I'm a true fan. I've got my scarf there hanging above the fire, so I don't hope it catches fire, but that's not the point. The point is that was just a bit of fun. So any of you out there who follow this page and take it too seriously and think that that's a disgrace, just grow a sense of humor, see where I'm coming from. It's a bit of fun. And I wanted to use that axe, and I thought, perfect, this is going to summarize exactly how I feel, and it's It's very therapeutic. So I highly recommend, if you have an axe, go and just smash it on some wood and you'll feel much better about the season. But it was just a bit of fun. So anyone watching that thought that was a bit much, take it easy, take a chill pill. It's just a bit of fun, and I'm going to throw it out anyway. Who keeps their memberships anyway from the season before? I bet you guys throw them out anyway, so it makes no difference. Back to the comments. Dylan, a huge lack of execution. It's really not good enough, but hopefully we can produce a little bit more of an effort next year. Looking forward to seeing Max King and Jack Bytel. I think we have a lot of upside next year. I know today doesn't seem that way, but with Bytel coming in, King coming in, maybe we're going to get Brad Hill, we're going to get Ben King, Tomlinson from GWS as a free agent. There's a lot of players there that we can look at. So I think that, this team playing today is going to be significantly different to the round 1 2020 team. So it's going to be hard to judge, but I think this offseason in the next 4 to 5 months and drafting and trading is going to be critical to how much we climb the ladder next year. And I think we will climb, to be honest. Marcus says, today was a joke. We were first in the first few rounds. Remember what it was like to be excited to watch footy? Me neither. I think if we trade Jack Stephen, we can try ask for a decent pick. Bruce, Membry and Hannahs and Ross is about all I saw. Maybe Rewalt should be a kicking coach. Seems to not be not a good future at St Kilda. I disagree with that last part. I think that it is disappointing that, you start the season 4-1 and then you finish 9-13, but that's just how it is. But I definitely think there's room for improvement next season. Heath says, thanks for reviewing all year. Even when it's been tough, we need a serious overhaul of the club. Thanks for that, Heath. Grant says, guys playing for careers and playing so poor. That's disappointing. Julia says, Ratton hopefully setting up for a massive overhaul. Matt says, what a joke of a performance. Stuart says, let's have a break, get back to pre-season, get the boys fit, and making sure our skills are 1,000 times better. That's a definite percentage upgrade there. We need to fix our goal kicking, and I think we are a team to watch out for when we kick straight. Jack News better not be there next year, says Lance. Elaine says, are you going to do these reviews again next year? I hope so. Definitely, this Saints TV is just a thing that's going to keep running, so I'm not going to stop, despite how much time it takes and all the work that goes into it. But I really enjoy it. I think it's a bit of fun, and it's good to just chat with other Sainers and meet them at games when I go. So, and it's a place for you guys to come and share your thoughts, share your rants. It's just a place to say how you feel, and that's what I do this for, is to just get my thoughts out, and I feel much better after a loss, especially like today. You just get it all out there, and you feel good about it. David says, we say it every year, turn over the list, but I've lost faith in players such as Sinclair and Akers. Trade out and get talent and run. If Jack Stephen wants to go, let him. We need to clear the ranks, says Claire. Glenn says, nice place, looks cozy. It is. It's very warm. Fireplace I started, so I'll take full credit there. It's been very nice here, very relaxing area. So perfect place to be after watching what I just watched is that, you go to the most relaxing, secluded place you can find and not think about it ever again. So after this review, I'm going to just try and take it easy for the next few days, and then we'll start thinking about trade season and all that, especially after finals, seeing who wants to leave and who wants to go. So I'll make sure that I report any trade rumors that I find that I think are legitimate. I have a few sources, so I'm not going to post anything that I see on the news. I know people that are inside the club, and if I get any info, you guys will be the first to know. Don't worry about that. Charlie says, can't blame Ratton, massive failure of a rebuild, get the broom out and start again. Andrew says, adding class whether it be the likes of Hill is vital, can see Clark, Marshall, Hind, Long and others benefiting from his and Hanbury's attitude and execution. Rat's not a sure thing after that. I don't think he is, and that's what annoys me. Is I feel like if we had gone there and won, I feel like he almost gets the job next week. But because of the performance we put in, I feel like there's still a lot of question marks. But whether he's enough, and it's more about the players that we can trade out and get in, and then he can execute his thing, I don't know. But it's going to be an interesting next few months. Emily says, throw everything at Hill and heard Zach Jones will be at St Kilda next year. Have to keep Ratton. He's a smart coach. Get rid of Nunes, Akers and Sinclair. They aren't good enough. Chris says, trade Ross. That's a big one. I don't know about that. Marcus says, if we want to delist these guys, don't play them. There is a better talent. The players who don't perform don't have a right to play. They need to earn it. Geez, there's a lot of comments, guys. Thanks for these. Sharon says, I thought it was funny. I guess she's referring to my video with the axe. Christina says, we appreciate your effort and commentary. We need a mini rebuild, says Andrew. Just a lot of comments here, which is good, guys. Clearly, a lot of you are frustrated with the season, which is exactly how I am. Raul says, use Carlisle as trade bait, ? I think he's definitely trade bait, but I think because he played a certain amount of games this season, that's triggered his extended contract, so I feel like he gets another year now. I'm not sure if we can still trade him or what goes on there, but he's definitely got another year. Craig says, nice fire. Talking about the serious stuff in this review. Sheena says, thanks for your time and being a Saints supporter. You have to live on chill pills. I definitely do. Jai says, love your work, mate. So does Bailey Jenkins, whoever this guy is. And Liam thinks that we need a key defender and midfielder in the season. And I agree. I think that the key things we need are a couple of defenders. Tomlinson would be great for us. I'd love to get Ben King in because he can play both ends, so he can even play down back if we need him to. And then you've got Dylan Robertson, who might still come back from injury. We don't know what's happening with Paddy McCartan as well. So there's a few players that can come back in from that. James says, thanks for your time and effort. It's been insightful. Thanks very much. St Kilda Saints is asking who I think will win the best and fairest. I think it would be insane for Rowan Marshall not to win it. He's essentially been almost our best player since round 2 or 3. The second he came into that team, he's been amazing. And I think he's been the best player for us all season by a mile. And when you're in the same sentence as someone like a Heath Grundy or Max Gawn for most of the season, that's when you've got a good player. And today I thought he was pretty exceptional again. Don't know what his stats were, but I thought just from watching the game that he was still one of our best players. Eddie says, love your work, keep it up. Daniel says, who would you want to come to this pathetic club? Let's not get that negative. I know that I just annihilated the membership with an axe, but that was more a joke. Let's not get too negative, guys. I think there's still a lot of highlights in terms of battle in defence. Hunter Clark having a really good season. Marshall, Hines, Wilkie playing, a full season. And then you've got players to come back in. So it's not all doom and gloom despite how it feels after this game. But, it's been a long season. But the good thing is that there's always next year. And hopefully in the preseason we'll really know, what type of players we're going to get into the team, who's going to come out, and what the team is going to be looking like come round 1 2020. I can see us climbing the ladder quite fast. We've seen it. We've seen it from Brisbane and from a lot of other teams, the Bulldogs, especially coming back from a long way back and climbing fast. I think we can do the same. We just need to be smart in drafting and we'll be okay, and make the right call in terms of coaches. Andrew's asking, will Saints TV come back and do a season review? I'm thinking about it. That won't be for, a couple of weeks at least, just to see how the finals goes. But I'm thinking about it. I'll see what I can do, but that's in the works to do a season review. And lastly, Daniel says, thanks for your work, mate. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to leave it at that. Disappointing to lose the last game of the season by 45 to Sydney, but, they're a great team and they had a lot of things to play for. I thought we did too, but clearly they had more to play for and they played that way. But I just want to thank you guys for watching for the entire season and making this page grow as fast as it has. It's been a lot of fun, and it's good to have somewhere to go after a loss, which has happened 13 times this season, to come here and talk and to kind of get it off my chest. And for you guys to do the same, it's been great. So keep tuning in. I'm going to be reporting on the trade season, who comes in, who's going, the rumours around us, and then obviously season review will happen, hopefully in the next couple of weeks as well. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for the 2019 season. That's 2 seasons now for Saints TV. Absolutely flown by. So hopefully another big preseason, and I'll be back next season to preview and review every game from 2020 onwards. Anyway, thanks very much, guys. If you know any Saints fans that don't follow this page, make sure you tag them in the comments. Let them know about it so they can follow it and stay tuned. These reviews are all on Saints TV on Spotify and iTunes, Google Play, all that. You can rewatch them, re-listen to them on YouTube as well, and Instagram. So thanks again for your support, and I'll see you guys soon.